Hello, and welcome to the conclusion of our 5-part series, the UK to Iceland aboard the beautiful Silversea Silver Moon. Part 5 is our ship tour and dining guide, and all about the pros, the cons, the ups and downs, the good, the bad, and the ugly of cruising with Silversea. The Silver Moon has a passenger capacity of 596 with 411 crew. Gross tonnage is 40,700 tons, and deadweight tonnage is 4,000 tons. The ship is 698 feet long and 86 feet wide, with 8 passenger decks. Her size and the number of passengers carried gives her one of the highest passenger-to-space ratios at sea. Navigating the Silver Moon is easy with deck plans and signage on every deck near the elevators and staircases. There are also several informational screens located around the ship that will keep you up to date with where you are and where you are going. With a length of 2 1/3 football fields, American football that is, the Silver Moon is easy to move about with 2 full staircases and 2 elevator banks located midships and aft. As you move about the spotlessly clean and elegant Silver Moon, you're going to notice fresh, real flowers everywhere, as well as artwork scattered across the ship. If art is your thing, you can pick up a list and location of all the artwork on board at guest reception. In addition to the sculptures and actual artwork, you will find many examples of ethnic oddities, ethnic antiques. This includes the many antique liquor bottles found in the Salt Bar. Well, let's start with Deck 4. Deck 4 contains some of the main restaurants on board, as well as the only 6 Vista-class suites on board. First stop is Atlantide, the largest restaurant on board that offers a wide range of surf and turf options. Next up is the Salt Kitchen, standing for Sea and Land Taste, featuring dishes from the area that you are in or going to. The third restaurant in the hub is the Kaiseki Restaurant, which is a modern Japanese restaurant featuring sushi and sashimi in the afternoons, and a full a la carte Japanese dinner served in the evenings. Next is the very interesting Salt Bar. The Salt Bar features elegantly constructed cocktails, many of which are themed after the area that you are sailing in. Last on Deck 4 is the Salt Lab, where guests can learn how to prepare regionally inspired dishes for the area in which they are cruising. Deck 5 contains Dolce Vita, a sort of living room and activity center for the ship that houses guest services, shore concierge desk, and future cruise sales. Dolce Vita also has a very nice bar, serving crafted coffees in the morning and adult beverages in the afternoon and evening. Dolce Vita also hosts the afternoon trivia and bingo sessions, as well as entertainment in the evenings featuring a pianist or guitar player. The Venetian Lounge, located Deck 5 aft, is the main entertainment venue for the Silver Moon. All of the enrichment lectures and all of the main music productions are presented here in the theater. In addition to a large number of cabins, Deck 6 houses the Spa and Fitness Center. Here is a list of the spa services and their cost. If you enjoy that type of thing, just freeze the video and peruse at your leisure. The facility itself is well equipped for everything from skin treatments to acupuncture, and includes a thermal area featuring steam and dry saunas, as well as a therapeutic whirlpool. While you will have to pay for spa services to use the steam room and sauna, there are segregated steam and dry saunas in each of the men's and women's locker room that can be accessed anytime the spa is open. Open from 6 in the morning till 8 p.m., The fitness center is very complete and features a wide range of resistance machines and free weights. It also has a good selection of cardio machines looking out over the aft of the ship. The fitness center also has a good size yoga and Pilates room and holds complimentary fitness classes throughout the day. The fitness center is open to all. Deck 7, in addition to holding many suites, is home to La Terraza. La Terraza is the morning and afternoon buffet venue that morphs into a wonderful Italian eatery in the evenings. Located near La Terraza is Silver Note. Silver Note is touted as a modern tapas-style restaurant and features light jazz accompaniment to your dinner. Located next door to Silver Note is the small casino featuring a few table games and a variety of slots. Deck 8 features more suites with all of the public areas in the aft of the ship. One very interesting venue is the Arts Cafe. The Arts Cafe is open early, 6:30 in the morning, and stays open until late. The Arts Cafe, while not strictly a restaurant, features light snacks and food appropriate to the time of day, and a chocolate extravaganza in the evenings, crafted coffees throughout the day, and a full bar in the evenings. The Arts Cafe is a truly beautiful space featuring interesting art and books on art. Directly adjacent to the Arts Cafe is La Dame. Greeted at the entryway with exquisite Lalique cut crystal, La Dame is an elegant French bistro-style restaurant. Open only in the evenings by reservation only, La Dame carries an $80 per person upcharge. Also on Deck 8 are the boutique shops of Silversea. The boutique features everything from high-end jewelry to toiletries and essentials you may have forgotten or ran out of, and a small selection of clothing. As we climb one deck to Deck 9, we find the inviting and comfortable Panorama Lounge. The Panorama Lounge features a full-featured service bar and entertainment in the evenings. There is also a shaded and covered outdoor seating area overlooking the aft of the ship. Also on Deck 9 is the Connoisseur's Corner. The Connoisseur's Corner is a cigar lounge and smoking area where fine cigars and even finer liquor is available for an extra charge. From a fine cognac like Louis XIII to extraordinary scotches like Macallan and the Balvenie. Connoisseur's Corner also features an outdoor smoking area for those guests that wish to indulge. Moving up to Deck 10, which is considered the pool deck, we find an open and spacious pool area, the pool bar, and the lunch and dinner venue, the Grill. The pool grill morphs in the evening into the interesting dining venue, Hot Rocks. The final guest deck, Deck 11, houses the observation library that has bar service in the evenings and the underutilized card room. Also on Deck 11 is Spaccanapoli, one of the best, if not the best, pizzerias on the seas. Running by Spaccanapoli and around the funnels is the jogging/walking track, 10 complete rounds equaling 1 mile. Let's take a quick tour of the available suites on Silver Moon. There are in total 7 different types of suites on Silver Moon, starting with the owner's suite, of which there are 4 on Deck 9. The owner's suite is about 1,000 square feet with the option of adding a second bedroom by adding an adjoining panorama suite for an additional 320 square feet. The Grand Suite, located on Decks 8 and 9 and located at the bow of the ship, offer even more square footage with around 1,572 square feet and adding a second bedroom if desired, equivalent to a full veranda suite at around 367 square feet. Next up is the Royal Suite on Deck 7 at 1,130 square feet with the option of adding a second veranda suite for another 367 square feet. There are only 2 Royal Suites aboard the Silver Moon. With the Silver Suite, you can enjoy approximately 786 square feet on decks 9, 10, and 11, with the option of adding a second bedroom by utilizing an adjacent panorama suite with around an additional 320 square feet. By far the most prevalent suite on the ship is the Veranda Suite. 3 classes of Veranda Suites, including the Classic on Deck 5 and 6, and the Superior on 7, 8, and 9, and the Deluxe on 6, 7, and 8. The layout and design of the Veranda Suite is virtually identical across all 3 categories. The Veranda Suites feature a queen-size bed, a spacious bathroom, and walk-in closet. There are some no veranda suites, such as the Panorama Suite, used as the second bedroom offering for the owner's suites, and the 2 silver seats that offer that option, and the suite we stayed in, the Vista Suite. The 6 Vista Suites on board are located on Deck 4, with 3 of the suites being 335 square feet and 3 being slightly larger with wheelchair access. Virtually identical in size and containing the same amenities as a veranda suite, the Vista Suite is spacious with a large walk-in closet containing a safe and a large spacious bathroom containing 1 sink, a bathtub, and a shower. So let's take a quick look at a Vista Suite versus a Veranda Suite. Check out the floor plan here and you will see that a Vista Suite is identical to a Veranda Suite, just minus the veranda. We chose this suite just to see if we missed the veranda and found that we actually did. For our next sailing and future sailings, we will be returning to a Veranda Suite. So what is it really like when cruising with Silversea, and especially aboard the Silver Moon? First of all, Silversea offers 2 pricing structures port to port, meaning you pay for your own airfare, hotel, and transfers, and their new door-to-door service that includes private executive transfers or chauffeur service from your home to the airport, coach class international airfare, pre-cruise hotel stay depending upon the air travel schedule that Silversea arranges, all airport to hotel and hotel to ship transfers, and luggage handling. The same level of service is offered on both ends of the trip. The home to airport and airport to home transfers are presently done with a Silversea contract and capably handled by Black Lane Limousine Service. When on board your cruise, Silversea is mostly all-inclusive. Those inclusions include butler service in every suite, an open bar featuring premium wines and spirits, your choice of spirits for your in-suite bar setup with your fridge, restocked daily, all specialty coffees and soft drinks, world-class dining, although 2 of the venues include an upcharge at dinner, those venues being Kaiseki, the Japanese restaurant, and La Dame, the fine French dining restaurant. Complimentary 24/7 room service, of course, all on-board shows, entertainment, activities, and special events, at least 1 excursion in every port at no charge, port shuttle service in most ports, included Wi-Fi and internet, and all on-board gratuities. So let's take a look at a select few of these amenities and see how Silversea did. We'll start with the butler service in every suite. On our previous cruise with Silversea, our butler service was superb. superb, with our butler anticipating our needs and actively looking to be of service. On this voyage, that service was not so much. Our butler was not engaged and did not seem to be interested, possibly my problem, in engaging, and was a bit, shall we say, standoffish. Let's start covering what I think you've all been waiting for, the dining and drinking guide. Yes, the Silver Moon bars are open bars, and there is never an additional charge for wine, beer, or spirits unless you indulge in an ultra high-end spirit like Louis XIII or one of the fine scotches found in the Connoisseur's Lounge. First stop is the well-appointed Dolce Vita on Deck 5, which offers coffee in the morning and full bar service through the day and the evening with light entertainment. Next up is the Panorama Lounge on Deck 9, featuring a full bar and entertainment from 10 o'clock in the morning until late at night. Next up is the Arts Cafe on Deck 8, offering coffee and tea service throughout the day and full bar service after 6 o'clock in the evening. Check out the intimate speakeasy-like Salt Bar on Deck 4, open from around 6 o'clock in the evening until late at night. Specializing in regional and specialty cocktails, it's a wonderful stop for a before-dinner drink. The Silver Note Bar, located inside of Silver Note itself, is a great place to grab a drink and listen to a little bit of light jazz, even if you are not dining at Silver Note. Keeping it casual or hanging out at the pool, check out the Pool Bar, a full-service bar open from 9 o'clock in the morning until 10:30 at night. There is also a small bar in the Observation Lounge that is staffed from about 6 o'clock in the evening until 11 o'clock at night. If you are interested in a fine cigar and or a very premium style drink, stop by the Connoisseur's Corner from 9 o'clock in the evening until late. There will be an upcharge for these drinks. There are 9 different dining venues aboard the Silver Moon, each with its own particular flavor and atmosphere. Although there is no what could be called a main dining room on Silver Moon, Atlantide on Deck 4 is the largest dining venue on board, open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. For breakfast and lunch, it is a sit-down a la carte, order what you want sort of restaurant. I was particularly fond of the grilled peaches and the omelets made to order. My favorite was an egg white omelet stuffed with avocados, jalapenos, and bacon. Lunchtime at Atlantide still provides a slow and elegant dining experience. Dinner, however, is where Atlantide really shines. Atlantide is a surf and turf sort of restaurant specializing in seafood, steaks, and chops, with some elegant twists such as a seared foie gras, Chilean sea bass, and this lobster carpaccio salad. Every cut of meat ordered at Atlantide came out perfectly prepared to just the temperature specified. Atlantide offers the perfect scale for both intimacy and a fine dining experience. Also on Deck 4, right across the hall from Atlantide, is Kaiseki. Kaiseki is a traditional form of Japanese cuisine featuring small, elegant, and intricate dishes. The atmosphere at Kaiseki is a simple yet elegant Japanese motif, relaxing and zen-like in the extreme. Lunchtime at Kaiseki was either crowded to the extreme or wide open and quiet. Kaiseki is open during the lunch period for casual dining featuring sushi and sashimi and soba noodle bowls. During the evening, however, Kaiseki demands an upcharge of $40 per head on the Silver Moon and is reservation only. Although influences can be seen from around Asia and the South Pacific, The food is primarily Japanese in nature, with the standouts being this miso-glazed black cod or sablefish and this Wagyu beef with a lobster tail. One of the standout desserts is the yuzu-infused creme brulee seen here. Also on deck 4 is the Salt Kitchen, salt standing for Sea and Land Taste, a new gourmet food initiative started by Silversea to give guests a taste of the local and regional dishes from which they are sailing. The Salt Kitchen is a very open and airy restaurant with good separation between tables. We ate at the Salt Kitchen twice, and each time there was plenty of variety on the menu to keep us happy. This is a crab and shrimp dill cake, duck sausage, Scotch eggs, veal and potato gratin, leg of lamb with vegetables, and this very interesting take on haggis with a squid shell stuffed with barley. Since we were sailing the UK and Iceland, fish and chips were on the menu, as well as sardines. Some interesting desserts, and a beautiful bit of rhubarb pie offered as we approached Iceland. Although not strictly a dining venue, the Salt Lab is also located on deck 4 and is the teaching lab where guests making a reservation can learn to prepare local dishes featured in the Salt Kitchen. Moving up to deck 7, we find La Terraza, the breakfast and lunchtime buffet venue. Despite being a buffet in nature, you can still order custom juice smoothies and whatever eggs you want to order. The variety and quality of the food was always great for the breakfast buffet. For lunchtime, the variety and quality remain, yet the essence of the buffet changes somewhat to a more lunchtime fare. Sandwich wraps and a variety of dishes are presented, and there is always some nice big chunk of meat at the carving station. Sushi is also available here, as well as whatever drinks you prefer to have with lunch. At dinner, La Terraza changes over into an authentic a la carte Italian eatery. Starting out, we always receive these charcuterie boards and bread baskets with a bit of roasted garlic. Salads and antipasta amount to things like this caprese salad and this cold cut salad and this beautiful and tasty whitefish ceviche. Pasta is said to be made in-house and fresh daily, and I can testify to the fact that it was very good. One of my favorites, seldom done well anywhere else, was done very well by La Terraza, and that was this potato gnocchi. The waitstaff at La Terraza was very engaging, fun, and great to interact with. Every entree and dish was well prepared and very tasty, including this branzino, this large portion of lasagna bolognese, sea bass, huge and tasty veal chop, right down to the spumoni gelato, and a passable tiramisu. Or perhaps this beautiful chocolate mousse would be more your style. Reservations are required for La Terraza, but there is no additional upcharge. Staying on deck 7, we had a reservation for Silver Note. Silver Note is an interesting venue featuring what they're calling modern tapas-style food, served with a light jazz background as a pianist and singer serenade you during your meal. Some of the interesting plates were what Silversea calls bubbles, small little bite-sized bits of food, this beautifully prepared octopus, this absolutely wonderful seared foie gras with pork belly, this leg of lamb, and a beautifully prepared Chilean sea bass. Signature desserts at Silver Note include this white chocolate tower and this chocolate lava cake. Moving to Deck 8, we had one meal at La Dame. La Dame is an elegant French-style restaurant that has the look and the feel of a beautiful French bistro. Reservations are required, and there is an $80 per person upcharge as of the making of this video to dine at La Dame. La Dame on Silver Moon offers a chance to upgrade to an elevated wine pairing for an additional charge, but we found the house wines to be perfectly fine. The food is said to be a modern take on French cuisine, as evidenced by this escargot resting on what appears to be a piece of puff pastry, and this deconstructed lobster salad, and this interesting take on bouillabaisse. You always know you're in a French restaurant when you're served an trou nomon to cleanse the palate between courses. All of the entrees were quite delicious, including my wife's Dover sole, prepared at the table, and my wonderful duck breast. For dessert, I opted for the crepe Suzette, while others opted for this chocolate cake and this vanilla souffle with chocolate sauce. Right next door to La Dame is the Arts Cafe. The Arts Cafe is an interesting venue, and while not really considered a restaurant, it does serve light snacks and food throughout the day. The type of food varies according to the time of day in which it is served. For example, breakfasty items at breakfast, lunch items such as wraps and sandwiches in the daytime, while at nighttime it shifts to a sort of chocolate extravaganza. Craft coffees and teas are always available, and after 6 o'clock the bar opens up for a full bar service. The Arts Cafe quickly became our go-to spot for coffees and teas and some hot chocolate on occasion, along with light snacks, especially the chocolate ones. The Arts Cafe starts early at 6:30 in the morning and stays open until the last customer leaves late at night. Jumping up to Deck 10, we find the grill. The grill surrounds the pool and hot tub area on 3 sides and is open for lunch and dinner. Lunch at the grill is fairly typical for pool grill fare and features a lot of sandwiches, hot dogs, and hamburgers, along with sweet potato and regular fries. This is a Reuben sandwich that we split one day, and while it was good, I wasn't really crazy about the bun, which was a hard toasted, dried out rye bun. We also had a chance to try out the hot dogs and the hamburgers, as well as a few of their salad offerings. All were prepared well and very tasty. The dessert menu is limited, but has this interesting concoction called a mango apricot Eton mess. The idea is to bang on the hard meringue part with your spoon until it is broken up and resembling a mess. Mix it together and eat it. My wife said it was quite good. In the evenings, the grill changes over to Hot Rocks. You will need a reservation to dine at Hot Rocks, but it's not hard to get, and there is no additional upcharge for dining at Hot Rocks. This is essentially a do-it-yourself venue where cuts of meat are brought out to you, along with hot lava stones heated to around 750 degrees Fahrenheit, or 400 degrees Celsius. Just a warning, Hot Rocks is basically a carnivore's delight with a lot of protein on the menu, with only a bit of veggie. For you vegans or vegetarians, there are some offerings, mostly vegetable skewers that can still be grilled on the hot stone, and a few salads. But as mentioned, this is really a carnivore's delight. Above the grill on Deck 11 is Spaccanapoli. Spaccanapoli is an authentic, made-from-scratch pizzeria. Spaccanapoli is named after the street in Naples where pizza was purportedly invented. Spaccanapoli is open from 11 to 11 each day and features a good variety of pizza choices as well as other things like calzone. Spaccanapoli was our favorite lunchtime go-to, and each time we went there during the voyage, we were never disappointed. There is one final dining venue on the ship, and that is your room. Room service is available 24/7 with a wide variety of choices available for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and even snacks. You can even order up a caviar service in your room if you desire, and your butler will set that up and deliver it for you at a predetermined time. Let's talk now for a minute about the onboard shows, entertainment, activities, and events. You're going to find a listing of all onboard activities and entertainment in the Daily Chronicles, delivered to your room every day. The Chronicles also contain a scheduled opening and closing for all the bars and restaurants. Here's a listing of a typical day's activities from morning through the afternoon. It is really fairly typical cruise ship fare on a smaller scale. All of the activities can also be found in your room on the television, including the menu for each restaurant. All of the ensemble productions and the enrichment lectures will be found in the Venetian Theater. If you are looking for a large-scale Broadway kind of crazy presentation, you won't find it here. Productions are smaller in scale and tend to feature the Silversea production cast members. The other entertainment venues on the ship include the pool deck, the panorama lounge, and Dolce Vita, with these spaces featuring either the Silversea Band, a solo guitarist, solo pianist, or the pianist and the guitarist playing together. Overall, the entertainment is fairly low-key, but entertaining and perfectly adequate. So was this a perfect voyage? Well, not exactly. As in any tour like this, there are a lot of moving parts. Some things are good, some things are bad, some things go right, some things go wrong. So let's take a brief moment to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Since we booked the door-to-door option, we were treated to executive transfers from our home to the airport and from the airport to home via chauffeur limousine service provided by Black Lane Limousines. This part of the service gets a big thumbs up. We also arranged all of our flights through Silversea, or allowed them to arrange them, but you must monitor those flights, and if they are not up to what you want, you must contact Silversea and adjust them. For example, we have 5 flights daily leaving from our gateway airport direct to London Heathrow. Yet Silversea initially had us booked on a connecting flight. When I pointed this out, they did correct it, so all's well that ends well. But it is up to you to monitor the process. When we did arrive in London, we were treated to another limousine ride to our hotel. We booked 2 extra days through Silversea's Simply Hotel program, and we were scheduled to stay in the Conrad right up until 8 days before we left. We received this letter saying, hey, that's all changed due to operational reasons and unforeseen circumstances, quote unquote, and we ended up in the hardly ultra-luxury called a 5-star hotel, possibly a 4-star, if you were kind, a 4-star hotel, but really probably a strong 3-star hotel. The Chelsea Harbor is all suites, and that's fine, but the rooms were rather dated and the property seemed to be less than well maintained. The front desk staff didn't even know where they were. I asked them to show me the hotel on a map that they provided, and they indicated a position about a mile from where they actually were. I asked them how long to walk to Buckingham Palace. They said maybe 15 minutes. Well, a quick check on my cell phone, and I could see that that would not be the case. And 45 minutes later, we arrived at Buckingham Palace. Was the Chelsea Harbor a bad hotel? No, it was not. Besides being a little dated and run down, most of it and most of the people were good. My biggest complaint was that I had planned to be in the Conrad. Those plans were thrown out the window, or perhaps needed serious adjustment by the location of the Chelsea Harbor Hotel. The Conrad would have been much more centrally located and near the tourist hotspots that we actually wanted to visit. Now, I have to say we paid a considerable amount for the Silversea chosen hotel. Of course, along with the hotels, you get breakfast. You also get transfers from the airport to the hotel to the ship. To Silversea's credit, when I made them aware of how unhappy I was about the situation, they did give me a modest amount of shipboard credit for the next voyage that I already had booked. Our hotel to ship transfer in Southampton, England, was by motor coach and went just fine, and the trip of about an hour and 20 minutes passed without mishap. When we arrived at the ship, the check-in process was easy peasy lemon squeezy, and within just a few minutes we were walking the ramp to board the Silver Moon. Once on board, we were handed a glass of champagne and asked to wait for just a bit in one of the public areas while our cabins were made ready. Now, just a brief thought or two on the Silver Moon itself and the crew. First of all, the crew was wonderful, very interactive, and always happy to engage. The ship itself was spotlessly clean and impeccably maintained, at least from what we could see on the surface. So as far as the ship and crew were concerned, we were perfectly happy with them, and they get a big thumbs up. But what about your private butler? Butler service on our previous Silversea cruise was wonderful. Mohammed took care of us and was always there with a smile and to help us out in some way that we didn't even know we needed to be helped out in. On this voyage, however, our butler was, well, to put it mildly, a bit standoffish and seemed to do very little or look for very little to do for us. Perhaps I don't understand the idea of what a butler should be doing in this instance, but our interaction was a bit sparse. So, is butlering a bad idea? I don't think so. I think it's a wonderful idea as long as it's done right and your butler engages and you engage with them. We'll give you a full report on our next voyage as to whether or not we think the service was up to snuff as far as the butlers are concerned. Next up, and I want to mention something that's relatively new with Silversea, and that is the included shore excursions. Shore excursions are easy enough to book if you go to silversea.com and then set up and log into your My Silversea account. On your My Silversea account, you will see a activities schedule page when you access your booking information. From there, you can click on one of the days and you will be given a list of available excursions. There should be a drop-down of both included and select. Select always costs you money, but the included are just that. Note that the included always have a price, but it is marked through. Here for this trip, I chose the Nature's Wonders tour, and after I selected it, it was populated in my activities list. Now, if I go back to the included excursions, mine is still marked out as far as price, where the other prices are now visible. If your schedule allows, you can book another tour for that price or go to the selected tours, excursions, and book them. As you begin to select your dinner reservations, they will also populate in the same activity list. The idea that premium wines and liquors are also included in your price, with no worry about drink packages and so forth, is really quite nice. And I will mention that when they say premium, they actually mean it. It's no stretch to find a $40 to $60 bottle of wine that can be had simply for the asking. All spirits are again premium, and the only upcharge is if you want a nice brandy snifter full of Louis XIII or similar. I think they also mean it when they say world-class dining, because I think that truly applies to every restaurant on board with the exception possibly of the pool grill. As something of a foodie, I can tell you that the food is good. Let me briefly mention Wi-Fi and internet service. It is included at no extra charge. That's the good news. The bad news is it pretty much sucks. While the Wi-Fi is fine all around the ship, the speed of the standard package, which we had, is really bad. You can step up to the premium package just by booking a silver suite and higher. Another very worthwhile inclusion are the onboard gratuities. Silversea claims that they are neither asked for nor required, and that is indeed true. Now, don't worry about the crew. They do receive gratuities based on how many people are sailing on any particular voyage. It's just that the gratuities are built into your cruise fare, and you do not have to worry about it once that is paid. Of course, if someone gives you extra special service and you want to recognize them, you are more than welcome to leave them something a little extra. Let's talk briefly about debarkation and the ship-to-hotel transfer. Debarkation this time, through no fault of Silversea, was a mess. Iceland Immigration and Customs insisted on a face-to-face with every passenger this time, whereas normally they just take a look at the passports that had already been collected by Silversea. In this case, we had to retrieve our passports and say hello to a customs officer. What this did was, of course, throw us off and cause a delay for us boarding our tour bus and our travel companions boarding the bus to take them to the hotel. While they headed for the hotel, we jumped on our final excursion, a Golden Circle tour. If interested, check out part 4 of this 5-part series for more on that tour. Our travel companions, once they got to the hotel in Reykjavik, decided to take a taxi back into Reykjavik for a little sightseeing. Eventually, we all ended up back at the Hotel Berg. The hotel itself was the Hotel Berg in Reykjavik near the international airport. This was a hotel booked by Silversea and at no additional cost to us, and was perfectly acceptable as a one-night stopover airport hotel. After a good night's sleep and a little breakfast, we hopped into the 2 taxi cabs that Silversea had sent for 8 people and their luggage. After packing the taxis and 6 people sitting there with luggage in their lap, we took the 10 to 15 minute ride to the airport, feeling like we were jammed into a clown car. Regardless, we made it with plenty of time to spare and no permanent injuries, so no blood, no foul. Was it funny then? No. Is it funny now? Yeah, kinda. Regardless, just one more adventure in a trip filled with adventures. Thank you so much for watching. Keep in mind all of these opinions are my own and no one else's, and your mileage may vary. Please help out the channel by liking and subscribing and ringing that notification bell and letting us know if we're doing a good job or not. Check out some of our other content, and as always, we wish you safe and happy travels.